Alright guys, today we're going to get back to work on this little Dodge Omni that I've got. Trying to work on doing a little bit better job on these videos here, at least putting them together. But anyways, so back on the Omni. Haven't done anything for several weeks. I've been busy with some other issues going on, just life stuff, you know. Nothing crazy, just this is not a priority. It's a toy. I mean, it is kind of a priority because I want to get it done. I want to get it on the road and stuff. But so gonna get the brakes put back together, the rear brakes here, and I got to get the wheel bearings. I got to take them apart. Here, I'll take this camera and turn it around. So I got to get my wheel bearings out and clean them up. This one, it's like tar. It's really solidified. The greases. This side was really good still, so just got to clean them up, get them repacked. These are already clean. Got my new wheel cylinders in. I got the brake shoes fixed. I was gonna video that, so I had to put a couple welds on these, weld these pins on. These shoes did not come with new pins to crimp in there, so just for the parking brake pivot. So a couple nice beads on each one. On a brake shoe, on the brake shoe on each side. Now the camera is not focusing. Let me stop moving. There we go. So anyways, so I gotta get those lined all back up, all the springs on. I gotta put some lube on these pads. Probably gonna take a wire wheel and clean these up a little bit more than they are. But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna get the camera set up here in a minute, and that's what we'll be working on today. I don't know why my camera is being so bad about auto focusing. But anyways, let me get some stuff set up and then I'll bring you back. Okay. Got the camera set up, so here we go. Let me get this lowered down so I can work on it easier. You don't need it all the way up. This car is so light, it takes this thing a little bit longer to go down than what it usually does. Okay. Grab some anti-seize. Guess I left it over here. Okay. Well, it looks a lot brighter in the camera than it actually is in person. Lighting isn't so great, but getting this stuff all mixed up here. Likes to separate out when it sits, so just using the good old Permatex anti-seize. This one came from Napa apparently because it's got a Napa thing on it. Got this bottle from my dad's shop. I'd used up my little one, and he passed away several years ago, so I ended up with all his stuff. So now it's my bottle. I'm not gonna get too crazy with this stuff, just a nice little coating. And yeah, I could have wire wheeled this all up and put some paint on it and made it look all new, but we don't really have as much corrosion problems here in Oregon as other states do. And this is all original. I don't think it had paint on it when it was new, and it's not really that rusty. So get the new brake hardware out here. I've never gotten brake hardware that's got an instruction sheet with it, so I'm kind of curious to see what this says on it. Go ahead and look at that real quick. Instruction sheet. It's interesting. I don't need. What it just tells me to. It says 2 blue springs at the top, 2 black springs at the bottom. I'm pretty sure there isn't that you can't mix them up anyways. They're not the same type of. They're not the same shape. Here's the black spring. Here's the blue spring. How are you supposed to get those mixed up? I don't know. Anyways, you need 4 springs, 2 of each. I have most of the original stuff was fine, but one spring was broke, so I just decided I might as well just get all new stuff, and I'll put new stuff on, and I'll keep the old stuff in case I need it for spares for in the future. My guess is I won't need any of it. Okay, so I got all the hardware laid out for this side, but I'll show you guys. This is the stuff we got for one whole side. So we've got these are the keepers. You'll see me put those on here in a minute. I probably won't video doing the other side because it's just gonna be the same thing. But you know, these springs go on the top and these go on the bottom. So yeah, I'm gonna set these on the other side. Of course, I gotta drop some of it. Okay. I think, yeah, I've got my pliers here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and, oh. Actually, before I start putting this together, I need to clean up the brake adjuster and make sure this is loose. Put some anti-seize on it. Yeah, it's not loose. It is very stuck. Okay, I'm gonna grab the other one too. We'll go ahead and move over to the bench vise, clean these up real quick. Of course, the one on the other side's not stuck. It's probably why the brakes worked on the other side still. So go ahead and get over here. I'm gonna drop you guys down a little bit. Okay, here we go. Alright, so I got both brake adjusters. This one's working. So we'll start with this one. I'm just gonna wipe it off really good. Go ahead and we don't want these stuck because this is what keeps the brakes adjusted when it's supposed to help keep them adjusted when it's as they wear down. And if it doesn't adjust smoothly, it won't work on its own, and they might get jammed up, or your brakes will wear down and they'll become very loose, and your rear brakes won't work like they're supposed to. So I'm just unscrewing this off there a ways so I can get all the grease, old grease and dirt and stuff off of the threads. You can probably see me doing all that in the camera just fine. It's not as cold out here as it was a few days ago, but it's still cold enough that my nose thinks it needs to be running, so I'll go ahead and just holding my thumbnail down in the groove of the threads with the rag, and I'm just basically unscrewing it so it trying to get as much of the old grease and brake dirt stuff out of the threads as I can, and then I'm going to put a little bit of that anti-seize lubricant on there. And then this one will be done. And the other one's stuck. I'll have to get it unstuck, and that one I'll probably run through the through the wire wheel, the old bench mounted wire wheel, just to get any of the stuff out of the threads, since apparently it's got some hardened debris in the threads. Alright, so we lube that up. I'm going to run this down back about middle. Well, probably go a little further than in the middle, because the new brakes we're going to need to be looser than it was when I took it apart. Plus, doing this, I'm running all the way down. It's coating all the threads. So we'll go back up a little bit. And this is that stuff. You get it on your hands. It goes everywhere. It never comes off. It does come off. It's just doesn't come off very easily. Okay. Just gonna take that extra off of here. Try to. Okay, that one's ready to go. So I'm going to go stick it back on the other side where it came from. Of course. Okay. Get anti-seize all over my hands. Alright, we'll grab this side. We'll go and just give it a little pinch in the bench vise there. Grab a pair of pliers and just grab a hold of this guy and okay, it's broken loose, so it wasn't too stuck, but what we'll do here is we'll just go ahead and pinch that little wheel in there, and then I'll grab a little end wrench here, and I'll just see if we can grab a small pair of vice grips. Clamp this guy on there, and we'll twirl away. It's easier than trying to use my fingers. Okay. Got that. Clean this little star wheel up here. Set that aside. Let's take this over to the old bench grinder wire wheel. Except it's not on a bench, it's on a stand. So simple as that. Okay, here we go. Back to the bench vise. Well, I guess I don't really need the bench vise anymore, but that's where we're set up at for the moment. Okay. Grab the anise here. Try to get where I don't have a humongous gob of it. Don't need that much. A little bit goes an extreme long way. I probably put too much on the first one. That's why it made such a mess when I ran this all the way down on the threads. Like the other one, we're gonna run this all the way down to the bottom of the threads. Turn the camera a little bit here. Quit shaking. Okay, so got this run all the way down. And we'll go back up a little ways. And we'll leave it there. I'm gonna scrape this extra off here again. Reapply it down here. Get this all cleaned up and ready to go. Okay. Back over to the car. Raise this back up here. There we go. And set my anise on the other side because I won't need it until I get over there. And this side, we'll get the little adjuster rod put back in its home. And I forgot my rag. Okay. So first thing, I guess I should set this aside because I need to get this back on here. So first thing, I gotta get this hooked back in there. The right way? Yeah, it will be the right way. Okay. That's a little bit of a pain. Okay. So, parking brake cable hooked back up. And it's going to sit in there just like that. Except it's not going to. Until I put one of these retainer pins in. This is always fun. It's always a juggle. This is why nobody likes drum brakes. Because they are just a little bit of a pain. I'm trying to remember how I got those off. I guess these ones, I don't have to slide them. I just need to push that down and get it to twist. There we go. So that's nice. The new ones don't, they have that flat end on them. So the old ones have this round head. So you have to actually push that down and slide it under. Which the way the old clips are designed, they have a ramp on them. So that's not a terrible thing I have to do. The new ones don't have that ramp. They're sprung up a lot more. But the end of the pin has this flattened style head. So I just have to push it down and then twist it. And it's on. So I don't have to deal with sliding nothing. Okay. So might as well throw some springs on here. That's the easy one. This one I have to go in from the back. Probably should have put this on before I put the shoe on there. Now I'm thinking about it. Took these apart weeks ago, and of course I didn't remember that these are gonna be a pain, because see, this has to go in. You have to like go in, twist it up, and then spin it out like that. So I probably gotta take that back off. Good thing this isn't that hard to do, I guess, with these new pins. It's just going to be easier to take it back off. Easier, but not easier. Drum brakes, they're a pain. That's why nobody likes drum brakes. Okay. Take that other spring back off instead of this side. Oh, have to get that retainer clip in a minute. Okay. And of course, I'm getting anti-seize all over my fingers, so that's fun. Okay. I'll go ahead and get this all lined back up. Grab the old pliers and okay. Grab my other retainer clip here that I dropped on the ground. Get this hooked back in. I have to go get my brake. I got special pliers for doing drum brakes. These are such little tiny brakes. I don't use the same kind of springs as brakes on like the old four-wheel drive trucks and stuff. So okay, so now we can put this in, which I believe goes this way. Then we just gotta hope got this adjusted good enough that man, what a pain. I'm gonna adjust this down even more. Excuse me. These are, for being little car brakes, these are kind of a pain in the butt. Tell you what. How am I supposed to get that spring? Wow. maybe I could hook this on there and then pull the spring out and get that in there, but man, what a pain. Guess I'm just gonna have to go from the underside. Okay. We'll get the pad retainer clip here on there. Don't have enough hands. Okay. Oh man, that's barely on there. There we go. Okay. Now we've got the other issues. The spring won't be that bad. These are easy. This one, it's not gonna be fun. Got it partially. I'm just gonna pop it in there this way. Oh, darn it. Come on. Man, this thing is... Let me get it this way. This is not gonna cooperate. Okay, got it started. Now I just gotta pop it in. Okay, got it. You know, for being little, these brakes are tricky. They're kind of a pain. The spring design is not ideal. I'd rather deal with the ones that come and hook up around the pin on the top there, but we got what we got, and that's this. Oh. Save that. Let's see, this is the spring, the end of it broke off of it. It's supposed to have that other hook thing on there. So that one's no good. I'm just gonna pick up these springs and stuff here before I knock them down. Take that over the other side, and there is a clip or a little plastic plug here that was glued in. So I don't think the brakes have ever been messed with on this car. But it goes in this hole back here that those springs just went through. That's also to access with an adjuster to get to this adjuster wheel to adjust these brakes out to fit the drum correctly. So probably won't really be able to show that other than me messing around back here. But before I put it back on permanently, I will probably adjust this out a little bit, which right now it's not even touching yet. So I will probably, yes, now it's got pressure on it. I'll probably take a screwdriver and adjust that as I'm fitting the drum back on after I get the bearings ready here. But yeah, so gonna go ahead and move over to the other side and get that done, and then I'll get stuff set up to work on the doing the bearings in the parts washer over here. Get the bearings cleaned up so I can re-grease pack with the grease. You know, put a big old glob in your hand and you push the bearings in there. So we're gonna go ahead and get this other brake knocked out on the other side, and then I'll bring you guys back in a minute. It'll be a minute for you guys. It'll be a little while for me.